Norm Macdonald is a comedian's comedian, a man who has earned both respect from his peers and laughs from the audience.
There are obviously a lot of entertaining celebrities, but Norm Macdonald used to come on our show in the early days, and those were, I thought, great television because we never knew it was happening, and it was always teetering on the edge of, it was all about to blow up. It's all about to fail, and it would always end brilliantly. And then he stopped coming around, and it was just a period that passed. And I was always sad about that because I thought, we're a very celebrity-conscious age, and people always think that the best guests are the biggest celebrities. Sometimes, the best guests are these people that you have a weird connection with, and it's compelling television. People see and they talk to me about it later on. Like, I'll be out in the world walking around, and people will say, "I saw that when you were with Harlan, or when you were with Norm, or with Will, and that really got wild and crazy in a way that they don't see on television."
But what's the movie going to be called? Really?
I know what it's going to be called.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
Smith, the girl sitting to your left, is in the movie.
I'm going to go see it for fun.
There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
You know who I learned a little bit about that was Norm. And of course, Norm's a little crazy, but Norm, a big host would come and we'd all get all hopped up, like, okay, Rosie's gonna bring in big ratings. Let's get our AP. Where's my goat? I'm gonna throw out a goat. And Norm would sit there in the pitch meeting. We'd all be dead serious. Will would throw out, "I'm going to do a cheerleader."
Right.
This one and that. And Norm would be like, yeah, I got a sketch ready. You're going in your pants, And you're just walking around, and you're like, yeah, I'm the guy with the in my pants, I hate this guy, and you look at him like he was nuts, but he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, Norm knew exactly. Listen, one of the single funniest things I've ever seen in my life is when he did Letterman, how quickly he would throw the sport coat off at the end of the sketch. Nothing made me laugh harder than Norm. Doing Letterman, and I said to him, "What's with the sport?" You know how Letterman, how ill at ease he is with show business.
Yeah.
Norm said, "That's all I had at the beginning. The essence of it was his discomfort." I said, "This guy's a freaking genius."
My apologies to Jenna Elfman. Good night, everybody.
He was a genius. He would warm up the crowd. Now, when I would warm up the crowd, I would warm it up like I was playing the garden, and I wanted to teach everyone a lesson. If I'm cut from tonight, I want you to know I should have been on.
That I was a badass.
Yeah, I'd warm up the crowd, kill. Norm would go up behind me, and he'd go, "Hey, Jim Brewer and these guys, he's got all these great impressions, So I said, "Oh, I better learn some impressions." So, are you guys all ready? This is my newest impression of these. Not a lot of. Because here's Ed Sullivan. And I'm like, he's really going to do Ed Sullivan? Like, why would you? He goes, "Ed Sullivan introducing the Beatles." And he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Beatles." Well, I got to work on that one a little bit. I see you during the show.
He's got a little Andy Kaufman in him, Norm. He likes to frustrate, titillate a little, but then periodically he'll say something like, "I feel sorry for the homeless guy's dog, because the dog's thinking, this is the longest walk I've ever been on."
I give a guy some money out there, a homeless guy in the street, and this is a kind of odd thing. He had a dog with him. You ever see this? He's a homeless guy, but he's got a dog. That kind of odd there. Guy got no home, but he's got a dog. And the dog's really thrilled with this idea, Doug's going, hey, pal, I can do this by myself pretty well here, you know. Like the longest walk in the world you got me on here. What the hell? What the hell kind of a thing? What the deuce?
Norm's hosting a sports show now, Jimbo, on Comedy Central.
Oh, that's dangerous. You and I both know that can be very.
Yeah, but that is a panel I volunteer for because I want to be in the blast site of that when that goes off because that is going to be a hoot.
Top story tonight: the NBA is rescheduling Chicago's playoff games around Oprah Winfrey's farewell show. Apparently, the Bulls are taking orders from the cows. Even more surprising than this, Michael Jordan's Hitler mustache. Have you seen these underwear ads? We have some breaking news to report here. This, just off the wire. Reuters News is reporting now that the Mike Tyson app has just raped another app.
Well, you know what? I like Norm Macdonald. Let's give him the money for the week.
I didn't even know he had a podcast.
Oh yeah, dude, Norm Macdonald. Did you see him on Conan telling that moth joke?
No.
Yeah, you got to see it.
No, I haven't.
Dude, you know how many comics out there don't give a fuck, but kind of still do. You have to kind of still do to eat. That guy
Norm
truly
doesn't. He's so fucking funny.
One of my best opening monologue jokes ever. Did you ever see? Remember that whole thing when he was doing Weekend Update and they told him to make it funnier. So he didn't. He just was more Norm the next week. So eventually, of course, he gets fired. So then, he goes off into the Hollywood world. He's got a TV show or a hit movie or some shit. So now they bring him back to guest host on SNL. And I'm going to butcher this, but he kind of came out. He's like, yeah, so, people know I got fired from this show. So now they got me back hosting, which means either I got a lot funnier or this show sucks. That's what he opened up. What?
You're very kind. You know, in the, what's that? Oh, yeah, no. No, you're absolutely right. That is my name. You know, when the people here asked me to do the show, I got to say, I felt kind of weird, I don't know if you remember this, but I used to actually be on this show, I used to do the Weekend Update news routine. You remember that? And, yeah. That's where I did the make-believe news jokes, That was me, right? So then, a year and a half ago, right, I had a sort of a disagreement with the management at the NBC. I wanted to keep my job, right? And they felt the exact opposite. So you see, they fired me because they said that I wasn't funny, Now with most jobs, I could have had a hell of a lawsuit on my hands for that, but see, this is a comedy show. So they got me, you know what? But now, this is the weird part, right? It's only a year and a half later, and now they asked me to host the show. So I wondered, I go, hey, wait a second here. Hey! I go, how did I go in a year and a half from being not funny enough to be even allowed in the building to being so funny that I'm now hosting the show? How did I suddenly get so damn funny? It was inexplicable to me, because a year and a half, let's face it, is not enough time for a dude to learn how to be funny. Then it occurred to me, I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So yeah, I'm funny compared to, well, you'll see later. But okay, so let's recap. The bad news is, I'm still not funny. The good news is, the show blows. All right, folks, we got a bad show for you tonight. Dr. Dre, Snoop Doggy Dogg, and Eminem are here. We'll be right back.
It goes, there's comics, and then there's comics. Comics is one of the rare comics, which means 6 people think he's funny. Norm Macdonald.